Can military personnel, or anyone for that matter, confidently use Roger at military base ATMs? It's a question that often pops up, especially for those serving our country, their families, and even civilians who might find themselves on a military installation. The world of banking and ATM networks can be a labyrinth, even more so when you factor in the unique environment of a military base. So, let's untangle this, piece by piece, and understand what Roger is, how ATMs work on military bases, and ultimately, if these two worlds intersect. First, let's address the elephant in the room. What exactly is Roger? You might hear that name and immediately think of a person, or perhaps a communication protocol used in the military. But in the context of banking, Roger refers to Roger Bank. And this is crucial. Roger Bank is not an ATM network itself. Instead, it is a digital military banking division of Citizens Bank of Edmond. This means that when you bank with Roger, your deposits are FDIC insured through Citizens Bank of Edmond, providing the stability and security of a long-standing community bank with the modern, digital-first approach that Roger emphasizes. Roger Bank is specifically designed to serve the military community, offering features like no overdraft or dormant account fees, no monthly maintenance costs, and no minimum balance requirements. They also boast free ATMs with global access and are veteran-owned and led. Now that we know Roger is a bank, not an ATM network, the question shifts: can you use a Roger Bank card at ATMs on military bases? To answer this, we need to understand how ATMs on military bases typically operate. Military bases, by their very nature, are unique environments. While they operate under U.S. federal jurisdiction, the banking services available on them often cater specifically to the military community. You will typically find ATMs on military bases that are part of specific networks designed to serve service members and their families. The most prominent network you'll encounter on military bases is the Armed Forces Financial Network, or AFFN. This is a major interbank network specifically created to provide electronic financial transaction services to the military banking and defense credit union sector. AFFN connects hundreds of banks and credit unions with a vast number of ATMs and point-of-sale locations, many of which are situated on or near U.S. military bases worldwide. The AFFN network was established at the request of the U.S. Army to support direct deposit initiatives, ensuring military personnel have easy access to their funds. So, if your bank is part of the AFFN network, you're generally in good shape when it comes to using ATMs on base. Beyond AFFN, other major financial institutions that heavily serve the military community, such as USAA and Navy Federal Credit Union, also have a significant presence on military bases. USAA is well known for its dedication to military members and their families. They offer extensive ATM networks, including their own USAA Bank ATMs and a large network of preferred ATMs. Importantly, USAA often refunds ATM fees for transactions made at non-USAA Bank ATMs, up to a certain monthly limit. This is a huge benefit for service members who might find themselves using various ATMs depending on their location. Many USAA members find that their cards work seamlessly at most ATMs on military installations. Navy Federal Credit Union is another giant in military banking. They have an extensive branch and ATM network both domestically and internationally, with many locations strategically placed near military bases. Navy Federal is also part of the Co-op ATM network, which provides access to tens of thousands of surcharge-free ATMs across the U.S. and Canada. This means that if you have a Navy Federal debit card, you'll likely find a surcharge-free ATM on base or nearby. Other credit unions and banks with a strong military focus, like Service Credit Union and Armed Forces Bank, also emphasize broad ATM access and often participate in large surcharge-free networks like MoneyPass or offer ATM fee reimbursements. Service Credit Union, for instance, boasts access to nearly 85,000 surcharge-free ATMs worldwide through shared branching. So, how does Roger Bank fit into this landscape? Since Roger Bank aims to provide free ATMs with global access, they almost certainly do so by leveraging existing ATM networks. To determine if your Roger Bank card will work surcharge-free on a military base, you'll need to check which ATM networks Roger Bank is affiliated with. It's highly probable that they are part of one or more major surcharge-free networks, and given their focus on the military, it's reasonable to assume they would prioritize access to ATMs commonly found on military installations, such as those within the AFFN or co-op networks. The best way to confirm is to check Roger Bank's ATM locator. Most banks and credit unions offer an ATM locator tool on their website or mobile app. This will show you exactly which ATMs are part of their free network. Look for network logos on the ATM. When you're at an ATM on a military base, check for logos of major ATM networks like AFFN, Co-op, MoneyPass, Plus, or Cirrus. If Roger Bank is part of one of these networks, your card should work. Contact Roger Bank directly if you're unsure. A quick call or message to Roger Bank's customer service can provide a definitive answer regarding their ATM network affiliations and whether you'll incur fees on military base ATMs. It's also important to consider the distinction between military personnel and civilians using ATMs on base. Generally, military personnel, their dependents, and authorized personnel with proper military ID will have unhindered access to ATMs on military bases. For civilians, accessing a military base typically requires sponsorship by a service member or specific authorization. If a civilian is authorized to be on base, they can generally use the ATMs available, subject to the same network limitations and fees as anyone else. The primary hurdle for civilians is simply getting onto the base itself. In summary, while Roger isn't an ATM network, Roger Bank, as a digital military bank, aims to provide widespread ATM access. This almost certainly includes partnerships with major surcharge-free networks that have a presence on military bases, such as AFFN or Co-op. For seamless and fee-free transactions, it's always recommended to verify Roger Bank's specific ATM network affiliations and use their ATM locator. Banks like USAA and Navy Federal Credit Union are well established on military bases and offer excellent ATM options, often with fee reimbursements or surcharge-free access through large networks. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.